Alright, what we got here is a 1951 Ford Rat Rod. I want to emphasize the Rat Rod because this car does not have the flathead Ford V8 that came with it originally, nor the original 3-speed transmission. I just want to give you a walk around of the car while I'm explaining everything about it for anybody who's going to buy the car on eBay. I figure this would be the best way you can get to know the car without actually coming to see it if you're bidding on the car and you live far away. So like I said, this is a Ford Rat Rod. Basically what that means is that it's an old school car thrown together with a bunch of different parts to make it run better, look cooler. Pretty standard stuff. Not a resto rod, which would mean all the original equipment that's just been spruced up. Not a street rod with a bunch of fancy paint and fancy new parts. This is just a bunch of old parts thrown together to make a cool car. Let me show you the inside of the car. All original interior, old school vinyl. Only problems on the seats are a little rip right there in the seat. Nice black carpet. It's a little dirty right now. It's got a Hurst shifter in there. You see that? Dashboard is all original. Still got the original paint on the dashboard. All the side panels look good. They're in good shape. They do not need to be reupholstered. Show you underneath it here. The car does have a late model wiring harness out of a Chevy vehicle. It's got a custom made center console so you can have a radio in there. Radio does work. It's got a speaker built into the side of it. Right along the side there, tape deck. There's the back seat. Very nice back seat. No reupholstering necessary. Windows both roll up and down, of course. Manual crank windows. Only issue in the interior is that it is missing a headliner. It's got all the ribs there. 2 of the ribs are in the trunk. It is missing a headliner. But for a Rat Rod, I don't think that's a complete necessity. But you might want one. All the ribs are there. You would just have to take it to a good car upholsterer and get them to make you a new headliner. As far as the interior goes, the only gauges that work in here, because it is a new wiring harness, the fuel gauge does work. I'll show you that when I turn the car on. The oil gauge works and the voltmeter works. The rest of the gauges unfortunately do not work. Ashtray does work. That's a plus. What I wanted to really show you, actually, before I leave here, we have a push button for the trunk. Wrote that in the description. That does have to be pressed a few times to get the trunk to pop because the spring that's in there is a little weak. So it just needs a heavier duty spring. And we do have a push button horn. Big loud 50 style horn in there. The lights work on the car perfectly fine. All the turn signals work. The only lights that don't work are these dummy spotlights. I was actually thinking about wiring those up with just a couple of cheap fog lights from the parts store put inside of there. Let me show you underneath the hood. Before I go under there, some custom pin striping applied to the hood. That looks pretty cool. So what this car has is a Gen 1 350 small block engine. It's got a nice Holley intake on there, Quadrajet carburetor, and custom valve covers. Pretty basic engine, but she does get up and go. Everything nice and clean in here. Interior has been sprayed with a like a rhino liner type of substance to keep it from rusting. Again, the newer style wiring harness, late model wiring harness is in there. Put this back down here. Chevy style front grill from the 50s. Pretty common upgrade on these old Ford shoebox type cars. Wanted to give you an idea of the quality of the chrome. This is not high quality chrome. It's the original chrome from the 50s, so it's all pitted up, especially on these bullets here. This is one of those cars that kind of, the chrome looks good from afar, but it definitely is far from looking good. Good potential for re-chroming, but it does still shine pretty nicely with some chrome polish, but it's not show quality chrome. See all the pitting on there. Trunk definitely is the one area on the car that needs a little body work. Underneath this trunk handle, there's some pretty significant dents under there when I got the car, and a bunch of fiberglass, so I had to strip all the fiberglass off and try to pound out as many of the dents as I could. Just going over very closely. Lockable fuel door, that was kind of a rare option for this car. Like I said in the description, 2 of the windows do have cracks in them. As you can see right there, front window on both sides is cracked, unfortunately, but pretty easy to get that replaced. Got a very basic exhaust on this car with some side exits. It's a true dual exhaust. Comes down from the shorty headers to some basic flex pipe. Goes back with a straight pipe to the cherry bomb mufflers, and then a couple 45-degree elbows coming right out here. So now I'm going to try to start the car up for you. I can find the keys. Oh, here's a few areas that I wanted to show you. There are some areas where the paint has been touched up. It just needs to be kind of wet sanded and buffed out. There's one area down here that I actually was going to repaint with the touch-up paint. I have about a quart of touch-up paint, so that's plenty enough to like repaint the entire trunk if you wanted to, or something like that. The steering wheel and the whole steering column is out of a Chevy Caprice, obviously. You see the logo there, and that's going to be changed shortly. I have a brand new great steering wheel that I'm just waiting for the mounting kit to show up, and then that'll be here. Prime the carburetor. Runs great, sounds good. Exhaust coming out of there. It's got this old school like 70s, 80s kind of like zebra print carpet up in the back window. Gives a little old flair. A couple of little rust bubbles there. Again, something where if you were going to make this into more of a street rod show car, fix all of that obviously. Passenger side, crack in the window. Next seat. Lockable glove box. Her shifter. Car runs and drives pretty great for 4-speed. Obviously you don't want to be taking it on the highway too much because it doesn't have any overdrive gear, but this thing does haul the mail. Alright guys, that's about it. Good luck and happy bidding on it. Low on gas. Fuel does work, oil does work. There you go. You see that? Thanks a lot, good luck, happy bidding, and whoever grabs this car is definitely going to be happy.